नमस्कार, टीवी 9 भारतवर्ष और एसएपी के स्पेशल इनिशिएटिव लीडर्स ऑफ ग्लोबल भारत वर्चुअल राउंड टेबल में आप सभी का स्वागत है। कोरोना पैंडेमिक की वजह से इस समय देश और दुनिया की इकोनॉमी का बुरा दौर चल रहा है, लेकिन यही समय भी होता है नया अपनाने का, नया सीखने का। ये न्यू नॉर्मल की स्थिति बनी है। ऐसे लीडरशिप लेसन सीखने का वक्त है ये, जिसमें बिजनेस को बुरे दौर से कैसे बाहर निकाला जाए इसका ज्ञान मिलता हो। इसीलिए हमने शुरू की है ये सीरीज लीडर्स ऑफ ग्लोबल भारत, जिसमें आपको मिलवाएंगे ऐसे ही बिजनेस लीडर्स से, मेंटोर्स से, जिन्होंने हर दौर में सफलता पाई है और बड़ा बिजनेस खड़ा किया है। साथ ही प्रधानमंत्री के आत्मनिर्भर भारत के सपने ने एसएमई सेक्टर को फोकस में ला दिया है। एसएमईज जितने इनोवेटिव और रिजिलियंट होंगे, उतने ही जल्दी करंट क्राइसिस से पार भी पालेंगे। इस पर हम और भी बातचीत करेंगे, लेकिन पहले मैं आपका परिचय करा दूं आज के हमारे गेस्ट्स, बिजनेस लीडर्स और मेंटोर्स से। हमारे साथ हैं मिस्टर रमेश डाटला साहब, जो कि चेयरमैन हैं एलिको के और साथ ही चेयरमैन हैं सीआईआई नेशनल कमेटी ऑन आईपीआर के। मिस्टर डोडला सुनील रेड्डी साहब हमारे साथ आज इस चर्चा में हैं, मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर हैं डोडला डेयरी के, जिसने पूरे दक्षिण भारत में अपने इनोवेटिव इनिशिएटिव्स की पताका फहराई है। मिस्टर एम गौतम रेड्डी साहब हमारे साथ जुड़ रहे हैं, मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर हैं और सीईओ हैं रैमकी ग्रुप के, जिसने इस पूरे प्लैनेट को स्वच्छ बनाने के सपने को साकार करना शुरू कर दिया है। हमारे साथ बालचंद बख्शी साहब जुड़ रहे हैं, डायरेक्टर हैं गोदावरी बायो रिफाइनरीज के, और आप सबका मुंह मीठा करने में इनका भी योगदान रहता है। और इसके अलावा हमारे साथ जुड़ रहे हैं पार्टनर एसएपी से मिस्टर विनोद पल्लकिल, साउथ रीजनल डायरेक्टर सेल्स एसएपी इंडिया। और सबसे पहले तो कोरोना क्राइसिस से उबरने के लिए, न्यू नॉर्मल को अडॉप्ट करने के लिए बिजनेस हाउसेस और एंटरप्रेन्योर्स ने किस तरह खुद को रीडिफाइन किया है, डिजिटाइजेशन को अडॉप्ट किया है और कैसे आत्मनिर्भरता की तरफ बढ़ रहे हैं, इस पर हम चर्चा करने वाले हैं। पहले मैं इनवाइट करता हूं रमेश डाटला जी को। रमेश जी, वेलकम।
Good day to all of you. I think it is my pleasure to be part of the Leaders for Global Bharat series today. An excellent program to understand the topics of digitization, reskilling of workforce, and finding global markets in the new normal, the post-COVID scenario. I think if you look at for many decades, the world economy has been growing uninterrupted. But this COVID-19 has brought this great acceleration to a halt. I think lakhs of people have died to this pandemic, and many economies are witnessing the worst times today. Many consider it to be an ultimate tipping point for the 21st century. I think COVID has changed the complete landscape, how we do business. I think the change environment now has become the new normal. And the businesses have to adopt required strategies to sustain and grow. I think in just 6 months, the last 6 months, even in India, if you see, I think the changes have become irrevocable, and digital connectivity has come to the forefront. I think as you see the statistics itself, the internet has grown by more than 70% usage. Mobile applications have developed, voice calls have gone up, video streaming services have multiplied. And today's program itself is an example. In normal times, we would have gone to the studio and conducted the program. Today, I think in this video conferencing, we are able to conduct these programs. And this is the change we are seeing everywhere, whether it's a small industry, large industry, government. In all aspects of the ecosystem, we are seeing this change. I think the challenge is now, how do we build this ecosystem down the line? Whether it's large companies, IT companies, or well-to-do companies have their own infrastructures. But when it comes to down the line for micro, small enterprises, how do we make sure that this becomes a reality? That is where the challenge arises. The challenge is on different aspects because of the availability of digital skills and the access to talent, lack of necessary cost-effective technologies. because these all things, digitization costs you some certain amount of amount. So how do small industries adapt to this digitization? Because a lot of times we talk about whether you take in manufacturing today, we are talking about industry 4.0 automation, which is most of the time out of reach to most of the SMEs. So here, what is very important we have to understand is one major change we have seen in the MSMEs in the last couple of months. There is a drastic mindset change in MSMEs. So MSMEs feel that for them to survive and sustain, digital transformation is very important. So how do they adopt the digital transformation? There are different types of forms. And here we expect that the government initiatives under the Atmanirbhar, I think the handholding has to increase and incentivize MSMEs to take them forward to take up these digital initiatives. This is the right time because the mindset change has come for the MSMEs. Here, I think CII and Tata have jointly set up a center for digital transformation for guiding and enabling the industry in 4 areas of digital transformation. That is on customer engagement, employee empowerment, and optimizing operations and transforming product and service delivery. So they are working closely with the industry to enable them to understand this and implement these initiatives.
मैं फिर से आता हूं सर आपके पास, लेकिन आपने कमाल की बातें बताई। किस तरीके से कोविड के इस दौर ने नए चैलेंजेस सामने पोज किए हैं, लेकिन जो इनको ओवरकम कर जाएगा आने वाला दौर उसी का है। भारत के एंटरप्रेन्योरियल इकोसिस्टम को ध्यान में रखते हुए एसएपी ने लॉन्च किया है ग्लोबल भारत प्रोग्राम, अ स्पेशल इनिशिएटिव टू एम्पावर होम ग्रोन बिजनेस। ग्लोबल भारत प्रोग्राम पर बात करने के लिए मैं इनवाइट करता हूं मिस्टर विनोद पलक्किल को, जो कि साउथ रीजनल डायरेक्टर सेल्स हैं एसएपी इंडिया के। बहुत स्वागत है सर।
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for inviting me, and it's a pleasure to be amongst these august dignitaries. I'd like to take the next 2 minutes to actually introduce the Global Bharat program, which SAP has launched in July, along with, and the kickoff was done by our Honorable Union Minister Nitin Gadkari ji. So what is this Global Bharat program? Global Bharat program is actually designed to enable our MSMEs to be globally competitive, right, by equipping them with digital technologies. So what SAP is doing is, in association with NASSCOM, in association with UNDP and Pratham Infotech Foundation, the program complements India's Atmanirbhar program in order to ensure that the MSME sector is provided access to global, so that they remain competitive. So we are working on 3 pillars along with this particular initiative. One is to ensure that the MSMEs are gaining access to the global marketplace. SAP has a technology called as SAP Ariba Discovery, which actually helps any buyer or MSME to register as a supplier, and it gives access to the global customer base from where they can receive orders of products and services. Point number 2, we are also digitally skilling workforces, and through this particular program, we are ensuring that through SAP India's Code Unnati, the MSMEs will be provided accessibility to courses on digital, courses on digital financial courses, soft skills, productivity technologies. This will actually enhance the skill set of the workforces for our MSMEs. And point 3, being a global ERP company, we have also made our ERP affordable to all these MSMEs, and this will ensure that they adopt SAP's world-class ERP in affordable packages.
Now let me be a little more elaborate on this, खास तौर से हमारे जो दर्शक हैं उनके लिए, जो ये जानना चाहते हैं कि एमएसएमई हमारा जो पूरी इकोनॉमी की रीढ़ कहलाता है, खासतौर से एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी के हिसाब से सबसे ज़्यादा लोगों को एम्प्लॉयमेंट देने वाला ये सेक्टर रहा है, क्या आने वाले दिनों में पोस्ट कोविड ये अपनी उस साख को बनाए रख पाएगा? अगर रख पाएगा तो चैलेंजेस क्या होंगे इसके सामने? कैसे खुद को री इन्वेंट करना पड़ेगा? किन जगहों पर खुद को इम्प्रूव करना पड़ेगा? ये बड़े चैलेंजेस रहने वाले हैं। अब हमारे साथ जो बाकी गेस्ट जुड़े हुए हैं, मैं उनका रुख करना चाहूँगा। सबसे पहले तो सुनील रेड्डी साहब, मैं आपके पास ये समझने के लिए आना चाहता हूं कि व्हाट आर दोज चैलेंजेस जो आपको लगता है कि बहुत बड़े होने वाले हैं आने वाले दिनों में, और क्या हम उनको बहुत जल्द ओवरकम कर लेंगे? क्या हम उनको जल्द ही अपॉर्चुनिटीज में बदल लेंगे, या अभी बहुत दिनों तक ये चैलेंजेस हमारे सामने रहने वाले हैं?
because my knowledge is restricted to our field of what we do as dairy and mostly with the agriculture related areas. So if I understood the question correctly, what are the challenges that we'll face? Will be able to get out over these challenges as what I'm trying to look at. COVID, although has provided a lot of issues, also gave a lot of opportunities for things to happen. Like Ramesh was saying, that people were forced to adapt to digitalization. People were forced to operate on platforms which we were not used to earlier. If you look at the dairy sector, we have tried to make it, because the earlier days of COVID, when the fear was high, we tried to use technology to avoid contact of people. So for us, in terms of how do I take it into the detailing is, when we look at the farmers, when we have at least a lakh or a lakh and a half farmers where we have to make payment to them. Earlier, it used to be an issue of they wanted physical money, they were not inclined towards digital money. But at this point of time, when COVID came, we were able to impose almost 95% of our farmers being paid online through banking. Yes, it is difficult. It is when people have to be convinced of new things and how do you operate. But a thing like COVID gave us the opportunity to make it more implementable. Otherwise, there would have been a lot more resistance to it. So similarly, when it came to communication from within the organization, when we couldn't travel, because we are the essential commodities and nothing could stop and things had to go on, the ability to connect to the networks and the internet facilities that were ramped up very quickly were also of a great use. So I have to give credit to the infrastructure for the internet companies or the government or however it was. For us, especially when we look at it from the rural areas to the urban areas where we there, from the market sales to the thing, to the procure farmers, it was seamless. I didn't face issues of the breakdown in the system of internet. So yes, the challenges are going to be there because it's a new norm. I, for example, personally had to adapt to going to using more things online than being offline, learning how to go and get things better. Deliveries coming direct to the consumers. So if you look at the smaller SMEs or the micro enterprises, the more enterprising people were able to adapt very quickly, and they started going and selling at communities, got into community WhatsApp groups, and started saying that we'll get you the produce directly to your house. It was amazing to see the community of farming community, which we thought would be affected, were almost reacted very quickly because they were able to get to the market. Yes, they could not do for the larger crops of the commercial crops, maybe like the wheat or the go downs to movement on in the earlier days, but they came back very quickly to the routine jobs of what they're doing. I think the society is resilient enough with the support that comes from the government to encourage this system of going online. It will only go better. Every bad sign should be taken as an opportunity to deliver. Maybe there are some industries which cannot move forward, but I think a majority of them can use this as a launch pad for going into newer things which would have taken earlier a lot more time to do. So that's our experience, that the farming community reacted very well to going for online payment, bank accounts opening. At the selling point, we were able to utilize it better, that we were able to go more to direct to consumer, online. The traditional channels were affected, but they also are quickly adapting now. They are learning how to get onboarded onto some platform of delivery mechanisms and deliver. There is going to be a shift. People who are aware of this and catch up with the shift will do better. If they try to think and wait to get back to the old channels, it will be difficult. So I think we have to learn to shift into a new channel, which COVID has forced us to do. So that's my opinion, sir.
Great insight, sir. Great insight. Mr. Gautam Reddy is also with us. Gautam Reddy, sahab, I wanted to know as to, are we really, as SME-wise, are we getting this access to the global market real time? Are we getting those digital solutions real time? Is it happening now? Or if there is a need gap, how soon do you think it is going to be filled in?
I guess a lot of Indian companies, including us at Ramki, have started our journey into the global market. But if we compare ourselves with the global giants, especially some of the US and the Chinese companies, we don't stand anywhere close. And the reason is primarily because the cost of funds is very high, and the courage levels are not adequate within the business community in this country. And I somehow feel the Atmanirbhar Bharat, the objective towards that, hasn't been taken up in the right perspective. I have never in 50 years seen a pro-India sentiment or an anti-China sentiment, which is as high as the last 6 months. In the last 6 months, the whole world has developed a diversification strategy. They didn't want a concentrated product supply from China, and they wanted a diversified product supply from rest of the world. And no other country other than India should have or could have capitalized on this opportunity. And I believe we did not do enough to capitalize on that.
Right.
I still think the opportunity exists, and it must be a government-led initiative to support, promote, encourage, and put the Indian industry in the forefront of the global market by taking a certain amount of capital risk, by taking a certain amount of liberalization risks. Once they do that, we probably will catch up 10 years ahead of time. And that global Bharat has to be a government-led initiative, and I'm disappointed that government of India hasn't taken that level of initiatives to put India in front of the world. And I believe entrepreneurs in India, business leaders in India are willing to take risk. Although we are seeing that we are growing in ease of doing business rankings as a country, and as many states we are growing, I'm not very sure if even today business in India is being looked at with a free eye perspective. There is always a suspicious eye perspective from the regulator, from the policymaker, from the common man, which is a bad idea. I think if India needs to go forward economically, we should move forward. Economically moving forward means respecting business houses and MSMEs. And Indian MSMEs by number are extremely large. We have just changed the definition, but we haven't really got money into their hands. And they have a huge knowledge potential. And that's where most of the IQ or the Indian patent is actually confined within the MSMEs. It is not in the large corporations, it's in the MSMEs. If we encourage them, 10 might fail, but another 90 will succeed. Right. We need to support, handhold, encourage, and take them forward. And I believe India is positioned to become a global leader if we take some risks.
ग्लोबल लीडर बनना है तो वो रिस्क लेने होंगे, और जिस तरीके से कैपिटलाइज किया जाना चाहिए था इन 6 महीनों में, हमको चैलेंजेस के बहाने जो अपॉर्चुनिटी मिली थी वो हमने कैपिटलाइज नहीं की। गवर्नमेंट इनिशिएटिव्स को और स्ट्रांग होना होगा। सिर्फ ये ऐसा ना हो कि ये सिर्फ कॉइन किए हुए फैंसी लगने वाले टर्म्स तक सीमित हो जाए, बल्कि इसको इसके बियॉन्ड ले जाना होगा। बालचंद बख्शी साहब हमारे साथ जुड़ रहे हैं। बालचंद बख्शी साहब, आपके हिसाब से सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज क्या पोज हुआ इस दौरान? सस्टेनेंस के लिहाज से क्या अपने मैन पावर को रिटेन करना, उसको स्किल डेवलपमेंट, उसके स्किल एनहांसमेंट के हिसाब से जो किया जाना है वो एक बड़ा चैलेंज है, मार्केट एक्सेस बड़ा चैलेंज है, सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज क्या है? डिजिटाइज करना खुद को, क्या ये सबसे बड़ा चैलेंज है? और इसको कैसे आप देखते हैं कि जल्दी हम अचीव कर सकते हैं और इस चैलेंज के बियॉन्ड निकल सकते हैं?
Many thanks for calling me for this Global Bharat initiative. Good afternoon to everybody. I am from a sugar industry. Our things are slightly similar to this dairy industry. We deal with 25 to 30,000 number of farmers. So getting into digitalization is a big challenge for a sugar industry, because we deal with farmers. We convince them. Now farmers are coming back to the norms and they are accepting it also as a challenge. What challenges we are looking forward post-COVID? I think, as you said rightly, we manufacture sugar, sweetener, but unfortunately, because of COVID, our buyers, especially institutional buyers like Pepsi, Coke, and everybody, their sales have been dropped by 70%. Sugar output in India is expected to be 10 to 15% over and above 1920. So that is a big challenge. How do we sell our sugar? So government has taken a lot of initiative. You must be knowing regarding the ethanol diversion. So right from sugarcane juice, we make syrup. From syrup, we are diverting it to ethanol production. And it is heartening to note that almost 35% of our sugarcane juice we are going to divert for ethanol production. And government has a idea of blending at least 10% of ethanol blending. So I think we are trying to help government to have to have the benefit of exchequer also. So we have a target of almost 70 million of liters of ethanol to be produced and to overcome the deficit of sugar.
तो अभी तक आपने ये देखा कि अलग अलग सेक्टर्स को रिप्रेजेंट करने वाले एसएमई सेक्टर में अपनी विशिष्ट पहचान रखने वाले हमारे इन विशिष्ट मेहमानों का क्या कहना है। लेकिन अब ये समझा जाए कि अभी इस वक्त हमने ये देखा कि पिछले करीब 6 महीनों में वो लोग भी डिजिटल की तरफ इंक्लाइन हुए जिनको पहले असल में डिजिटल से हम दूर भागते हुए देखते थे। तो क्या डिजिटल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन इज गोइंग टू बी द नीड ऑफ द आवर? Is it going to be the new normal, Palakkil Sahab? And if it is going to be so, what technology are you foreseeing emerging which is going to be the lifesaver for SME?
So absolutely, I think digital transformation is the way to go. Whether it was in good times or during these challenges time, digital transformation always was part of the agenda for any MSME or any kind of organization across the world. But what this pandemic has actually done is it has taken digital transformation as the topmost priority today. That's been our experience in the last 6 to 7 months. We've been dealing with a lot of organizations across India who actually is talking to us in terms of seeing how SAP can help them, transform. If you look at all the dignitaries who spoke today, right? Technology today has become the forefront in terms of ensuring that businesses run. And as I mentioned before, at any times, business has one goal. Business, they want to run the best. Okay? So, just to second my thought, yes, and how SAP helps, there are various, technology that we are providing to customers to ensure that this dream of digitally transformation is actually met. And more so ever in the Global Bharat program, what we have done is we have opened access to MSMEs without any extra fees to ensure that they register as a supplier where they can sell their products and services.
तो ये खासियत है। इस तरीके से टेक्नोलॉजी अब आने वाले दिनों में और ज्यादा भूमिका निभाने वाली है। टेक्नोलॉजी, उसमें भी डिजिटल टेक्नोलॉजी, और जिनके पास ये डिजिटल सॉल्यूशंस रेडी होंगे वही आने वाले दिनों में मार्केट लीडर बन के इमर्ज होने वाले हैं। टू इमर्ज स्ट्रॉन्गर फ्रॉम द कोविड-19 क्राइसिस, कंपनीज शुड स्टार्ट स्किलिंग देयर वर्कफोर्सेस. What are the various companies doing in this regard? I want to know, Gautam Reddy Garu.
वेरियस सारे कंपनीज के एक बेसिक सोच जो इंडिया में था, जो कि इंडिया में हम कम्युनिकेट इफेक्टिवली नहीं कर सकते क्योंकि अपना एजुकेशन लेवल कम है, दूर दूर तक हमारा जो सोच है पहुंचता नहीं है। ये गलत सोच है। जितनी कम्युनिकेशन कोविड के टाइम पे हुआ है वो कभी जिंदगी में नहीं हुआ है इंडिया में। आज के तारीख में आप किसी नागरिक को पकड़ के पूछिए कोविड क्या है, इसका इलाज क्या है, इसका क्या करना चाहिए, हर आदमी बता सकता है। इतना इफेक्टिव कम्युनिकेशन अपने पास है। और मैंने एक और बड़ी चीज जो सीखी है, 20,000 वर्कर्स है हमारे, सैनिटेशन वर्कर्स जो सॉलिड वेस्ट मैनेज करते हैं, इंडस्ट्रियल वेस्ट मैनेज करते हैं, हॉस्पिटल वेस्ट मैनेज करते हैं। सारे 20,000 लोगों को एक दिन में हमने कम्युनिकेट कर पाया कि ये हमारा रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है, हम बाहर जाके वेस्ट को मैनेज करना है। कोविड में जो लॉकडाउन हुआ है वो अपने लिए नहीं है, सैनिटेशन को अच्छी तरह से रखने से कोविड को भगा सकते हैं। तो हमारा रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी बनती है करके एक दिन के कम्युनिकेशन के सारे 20,000 सैनिटेशन वर्कर रोड पे आके कोविड को टकराते हुए दे हैव फॉट एंड इतनी कम्युनिकेशन जो हुआ है, मेरा तो इनके ऊपर रिस्पेक्ट 10 गुना बढ़ चुका है सैनिटेशन वर्कर।
और मेरा रिस्पेक्ट आपकी तरफ सर। मुझे तो ये बताया गया था कि आपसे अंग्रेजी में ही कम्युनिकेट करना है, लेकिन जिस तरीके से आप हिंदी बोल रहे हैं वो कमेंडेबल है। और आपने जो वाकई काम किया है, सैनिटेशन इस दौर की बहुत बड़ी जरूरत होने वाली है, और सैनिटेशन के लिए लोगों को प्रेरित करना और अपने वर्कफोर्स को इस तरीके से ओरिएंट करना कि वो ना सिर्फ खुद को ट्रेन करें बल्कि लोगों को भी इस बारे में अवेयर करें, इससे बढ़िया काम तो कुछ हो ही नहीं सकता। लेकिन एक अगली बात, हाँ सर आप अपनी बात पूरी करें।
सैनिटेशन वर्कर्स को कुछ लोग आके आरती देते हुए, स्वीट्स देते हुए, इतना रिस्पेक्ट सैनिटेशन वर्कर्स को इस 6 महीने में मिला है, कभी जिंदगी में किसी सैनिटेशन वर्कर को नहीं मिला है। इतनी बढ़िया काम इन लोगों ने इस टाइम पे किया। खाली ये बात नहीं है, कोविड हॉस्पिटल को जाके कोविड वेस्ट को पिकअप करके ले जाके उसको डिस्पोज करना, ये बड़ी उनके लिए बड़ी गर्व की बात है। और इतना रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी भी उन्होंने निभाया है कि बहुत बढ़िया काम किया है. Sanitation workers of India, not just our company, I think I have a huge salute for them. They have done fantastic job during the last 6 months of COVID. Nothing beats this. And for India to really emerge big, we need to start respecting our workforce and believe that we can communicate to every single citizen of India very effectively.
अब क्योंकि SAP इस दौरान पूरा ये जो नीड गैप है इसको ब्रिज करने का काम करता रहा है, मैं एक चीज और जानना चाहता हूं, व्हाट इज SAP डूइंग टू डेवलप डिजिटल स्किल्स इन दिस कंट्री? पलक्किल साहब.
In June 2017, we launched a corporate to citizen digital literacy program called as Code Unnati. Right. So since it's launched, Code Unnati has actually digitally educated about close to 1.8 million citizens, and we've also got the pleasure of training about 5,200 plus teachers across 1,500 centers across India. And as a part of the Global Bharat initiative, MSMEs will also have access to Code Unnati's 240 plus courses on, like I mentioned earlier, in terms of digital financial courses, soft skills, productivity technology, that will not only digitally skill them, but it will also help them adapt to the new working conditions.
अब सुनील रेड्डी साहब से मेरा अगला सवाल होगा. सुनील रेड्डी साहब, व्हाट इट मीन्स टू इंडियन कंपनीज टू गेट अ ग्लोबल मार्केट एक्सेस? Has it really been there, or there has been a need gap, and which is going to be bridged any sooner now?
We need to get to the global markets. India is the largest dairy producer in the world, but when you look at it as the amount of milk that goes out into the world, we are very small and insignificant. We live in the comfort zone of that we have our own market, which is so big, and we are comfortable in catering to our own market instead of thinking of where else can we go. If we take a small country like New Zealand, which goes to all over the world with their dairy products, there is a demand. It is just starting to pick up. People are beginning to get aware of Indian products, and Indian products are being placed. Again, like if you look at our own Haldi milk, which was there as a normal remedy during COVID times, whatever little could be moved abroad, people were looking forward to getting the product and going forward. Technology has helped in terms of database, but like Dattala Garu can also help us here. India is moving way ahead in terms of its testing parameters for all the products of the food safety, the digital enablement of that. That is in terms of traceability, we have gone way ahead in times. Now we have few companies which are able to give consumer traceability from which animal, when it was milked and when the milk came in. If we use all these and we are able to build the confidence in the global market for the Indian products, we will be able to sell. We have one of the most cost-effective models of processing and packing, which has been instituted by the large cooperatives in India like Amul. We have been using the same for underdeveloped countries like in Africa, and we were able to be very successful there. We're looking at Southeast Asia to go forward and do. So there is a lot of opportunity to be done for the dairy products, and I think it is only a matter of time before we start getting there. Now the Indian markets are getting saturated. Therefore, we'll all start looking forward to going globally.
Definitely. And PM Modi said our companies should go global and compete with multinationals. What are the plans and goals in this aspect, Dattala Saab?
I think one important aspect we all have to keep in mind, because I'm representing CIO on the intellectual property rights. So this is one very important area if you want to become a global player. I think there should be some uniqueness in what you do. So suppose if you look at the IP part in India, the 80% of the filings are still from multinational companies. Only 20% of filings in India come from local research labs and industry. So this is one area we have to focus to become a global player. Like an example, I like to give my example of our company. I think over 2 decades back, we started focusing on generating intellectual property right and patenting our technologies. So about 10 years back, this helped us to partner with one of our largest competitors in the world, where they were interested in our technology rather than the other way around. So we configured our technology for them, where they sell that product worldwide. So indirectly, it is helping us to enhance our technologies. So the technology uniqueness is very important for Indian companies to become global players.
Right. Digitization. अपने यहाँ बने हुए प्रोडक्ट्स को अगर वर्ल्ड वाइड अवेलेबल कराना है तो जाहिर है इसके लिए मार्केट एक्सेस चाहिए होगी. मार्केट एक्सेस चाहिए तो उसके लिए डिजिटल वेज एंड मीन्स तलाशने होंगे, वो टूल्स तलाशने होंगे जो इसको आसान बनाएं। लेकिन इस डिजिटल ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन के मामले में बख्शी साहब, दिस क्वेश्चन इज फॉर यू, what are the bigger challenges and people like SAP, can they really play a big role on this regard?
According to me, yes, SAP is going to help us. I think we are also looking forward. Mr. Vinod, you are most welcome to interact with us regarding SAP. We are looking forward. And regarding digitization, we are also trying to educate our workers, because ultimately this is a factory based in a rural area, and we are interacting with our end users are farmers. So I think it takes a long time for us to go ahead with digitization, but we are open to it.
पलक्किल साहब, अब ये बातें सुनते हुए आपका रोल तो मुझे बहुत अहम लगने लगा है। अब ये बताइए कि कंपनी टू कंपनी, अलग अलग सेक्टर्स में सर्व करने वाले जो एसएमईज हैं, उनकी नीड को पहचानते हुए उनके हिसाब से कस्टमाइज्ड सॉल्यूशंस उनको प्रोवाइड करना, ये आपको मौजूदा दौर में कितना आसान या मुश्किल लग रहा है?
Look, I mean, SAP has been a market leader in enterprise application software, right? This is how the world has known us. But you'll be really surprised to know that more than 80% of our business or the customer base in India is in SMEs, right? So what we have done or what we have gained dealing with this 85% of customer base is not only to know their current requirement, but also look at their emerging trends. And this has helped us actually evolve in our products and solutions. And today we offer a array or a range of innovative solutions that the customers can adopt in the SME segment, right? So even if you dovetail this back to the Global Bharat initiative, SAP is also supporting SMEs to actually gain and become globally competitive, right? It's been a humble journey for SAP, because we as an organization have grown working with SMEs, learning from them, and also understanding from them in terms of what are the challenges that each of these industry works. Because SAP as a software, not only is an ERP software, right? It caters to industry. So we cater to 25 different industries. We talk to 25 different industry councils to actually understand what they are doing, what are the challenges that the industry actually sees, what are the innovation that customers would want to see in our software. We imbibe them in our software, and that actually brings in a cohesion in the way we support the Indian SME market. Point number one. Two, I think with our wide array of ecosystem of channel partners today who are equally skilled to go ahead and implement in these particular industries, and we've been doing that from the 40 years, and we are extremely confident that more so ever in the recent times with the challenging situation, we as a vendor can play a very, very huge role in ensure that we ensure SMEs have access to the global market and to become very competitive.
डोडला सुनील रेड्डी साहब, आपसे, आप जिस पर्टिकुलर सेक्टर को सर्व कर रहे हैं उसमें क्या स्पेसिफिक चैलेंजेस देखे पिछले 6 महीनों में आपने? और दूसरे मैं आपसे ये भी जानना चाहता हूं कि एक पर्टिकुलर तरीका रहा है अभी तक एसएमईज का, एक ढर्रा रहा है जिसमें वो चलते रहे हैं, क्या अब जिन चीज़ों को, जिन इनोवेशंस को अब अपना लेने की ज़रूरत है, उसमें आप देखते हैं कुछ इनहिबिशंस हैं, या अब खुले हाथों के साथ एसएमईज उसकी तरफ आगे बढ़ रहे हैं?
Inhibitions are always there to when new things have to be adopted. वो इंडस्ट्री और प्रोसेसिंग के साइड पे तो ईजियर है इनहिबिशंस नहीं आने का। जैसा इफ यू टेक फॉर आवर साइड, एग्रीकल्चर जहाँ डेयरी फार्मर है जो एनिमल पालता है, उसके लिए प्रॉब्लम ज़्यादा है, इनहिबिशंस ज़्यादा अडॉप्ट करने के लिए। बट प्रोसेसिंग साइड को आने के टाइम पे बहुत आसान पड़ रहा है। जैसे कि अभी हर गांव में लीजिएगा तो वो टेस्टिंग जो हम करते हैं और फार्मर पेमेंट करते हैं, वहाँ ऑटोमेशन करना, फार्मर्स को केवाईसी नॉर्म्स आधार के हिसाब से लिंक करना, वो सब बिना इनहिबिशंस के साथ चल रहा है और बहुत तेजी से चल रहा है आजकल। बट एट द ग्राउंड लेवल ऑफ फार्मिंग में तो प्रॉब्लम्स है। जैसा कि अभी NEDB ने हैज कम आउट विद अ रेशन प्रोग्राम where farmers can go and adopt on that and bring down their cost of production and improve productivity, yield improvement. उस जगह पे तो बहुत काम करना पड़ रहा है, because agriculture of India is still a little bit of the older style and methodology, where due information is not given or pressure is not put in terms of productivity. It is only more like, at least in the dairy, it is more like a backyard farming. And I think Sir will also explain in sugarcane, where we have a lot of issues with labor problems these days. We are not able to get enough labor in the agricultural sector. And to mechanize, we don't have large enough land parcels of one crop to go and produce. So for us, it is giving a problem in terms of the feed. Like how do you get cattle feed at a more cheaper price? So pehla it was gas, was just hay which were feeding the cattle. Abhi hay se silage ko jana pad raha hai. There, how do you transform it digitally? How does a farmer buy? Online platforms for price control to be better. That now we have to wait and see how the farm bill will turn around. But MSP era to non-MSP era of being directly being able to sell. So all these there'll be a lot of change coming now. Abhi online platforms both आएंगे. Farmer producer organizations are वो consolidation बहुत कर रहे हैं आजकल. So rapid changes are at least in agricultural sector. Inhibitions will be more at the grassroots level because training at the grassroots level is going to be very important. Above that, it will be rapid. So grassroots level में inhibitions ज़्यादा होंगे, वो वहाँ concentration करना पड़ेगा.
ग्रास रूट लेवल पे बहुत सारी चीज़ें आपको नई होती हुई दिखाई देंगी, ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म्स बहुत सारे इमर्ज होते हुए दिखाई देंगे। अब सवाल ये है कि अगर सब के लिए, अब क्योंकि ये कहा जा रहा है कि अब जिस तरीके के चैलेंजेस कोविड ने पोज किए हैं उसके बाद पोस्ट कोविड दुनिया एकदम बदली हुई होगी, खासतौर से एसएमईज के काम करने का तरीका, ऑपरेट करने का तरीका भी बहुत बदला हुआ होगा। गौतम रेड्डी साहब, अगर अब ये जो सॉल्यूशंस हैं सबके लिए अवेलेबल होने वाले हैं तो जो डिफरेंशिएटर होगा वो क्या होगा गौतम रेड्डी साहब?
मुझे तो लगता है कि हर एक जनरेशन जो रहता है ये सोचता है कि अगला जनरेशन का कैपेबिलिटी कम है, इन लोगों का सोच कम है, ये लोग ठीक से असेस नहीं कर पाते हैं करके। पर दुनिया ने ये दिखाया कि पिछले 50, 100, 200 साल से कि एवरी नेक्स्ट जनरेशन इज स्मार्टर देन द प्रीवियस जनरेशन। दुनिया आगे ही बढ़ते गया है। मुझे लगता है कि नया जनरेशन जो है इंडिया में, ये नया जनरेशन पूरे डिजिटल एंड नॉलेज के साथ जो पड़ा है, थोड़ा रिस्क टेकिंग कैपेबिलिटी बढ़ा करके दुनिया के सामने चले जाना चाहिए। दे शुड गो टू द ग्लोबल फ्रंट्स एंड स्टार्ट डेमोन्स्ट्रेटिंग नॉलेज कैपेबिलिटीज एंड टेक रिस्क। श्योरली इंडिया विल बिकम ए ग्लोबल लीडर। ये करने के लिए मुझे लगता है कि नेक्स्ट जनरेशन हैज टू टेक ए ग्लोबल लीडरशिप पोजीशन एंड मूव टू द ग्लोबल फ्रंट बाय टेकिंग रिस्क। और मुझे पूरा कॉन्फिडेंस है कि ये जनरेशन इंडिया को दुनिया की लीडर्स में आगे के रो में लगा देगा। और ये करने के लिए गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया थोड़ा इनका हाथ पकड़ के इंसेंटिव्स देके, थोड़ा कैपिटल रिस्क लेने का कैपेबिलिटी देके इनको आगे बढ़ाना चाहिए।
एसएमईज को बहुत नुकसान हुआ है। गौतम रेड्डी साहब ने उस बात को हाईलाइट किया कि गवर्नमेंट का रोल क्या हो सकता है, एसएमईज रिसरेक्ट कर जाएं उसके लिए। लेकिन जो एक बात अहम इन्होंने कही वो ये कही कि आने वाली जनरेशन्स को लोग कम करके आंकते हैं जबकि वो आउटस्मार्ट कर देती है पीछे वाली जनरेशन को। अब अगर ये वाकई स्थिति है तो रमेश डाटला साहब, क्या हम ये माने कि ये जो पोस्ट कोविड जो पूरा माहौल बना हुआ है असल में इसने और कंड्यूसिव एटमॉस्फेयर बना दिया डिजिटाइजेशन के लिए और इसको फलने फूलने का माहौल दे दिया?
Yeah, I think definitely the changes have come. I think when you look at small industry, a new breed of small industries have come by the initiatives of government where they're trying to push for startups. I think startups are playing a major role today in India. From the technology point of view, digitization point of view, the type of technologies they're bringing to the common people have grown a lot, multifold in the last 4-5 years. And the COVID has given a larger push now. Because what is more important in the digitization point of view is the cost. When MSMEs are looking at is cost competitive technologies. So the startups are playing a large role in bringing that kind of cost competitive technologies. And what we foresee is the post-COVID or with the COVID, I think things will move very fast as far as digitization is concerned in all fields. Like our previous speakers have talked about various areas, whether it's sanitization or whether it is milk produce or sugarcane farming. And like an example is recently we have been talking to the Telangana government where they want to monitor the sewage which is going into various lakes. We developed a IoT-based, cloud-based technology which continuously gives readings on 24/7 basis. The government is more interested in this kind of technologies where digitization plays a large role.
बहुत शुक्रिया सर, आप लोग वो हैं जिनको देखकर न जाने कितने लोग इंस्पायर होते हैं। देश के प्रधानमंत्री, उनका भी यही विजन है कि तब जबकि ये कहा जा रहा है कि देश में रोजगार कम हो रहा है, हमको उस तरफ देखने की जरूरत है जहां से रोजगार सृजन होता हो। रोजगार सृजन सबसे ज्यादा होता है एसएमई सेक्टर से, एमएसएमई सेक्टर से, और उसमें जाहिर है चैलेंजेस बहुत होते हैं। जैसा आपने बताया, स्टार्टअप्स के सामने बहुत सारे चैलेंजेस हैं। गवर्नमेंट उसको एक पुश देने की कोशिश कर रही है, लेकिन उसके बावजूद चैलेंजेस कम नहीं होते। और ऐसे में जिसने प्रूव करके दिखाया है वो आप लोग हैं। तो आप लोग जाहिर है मेंटोर्स हैं, लीडर्स हैं, और आपको देखकर बहुत सारे लोग इंस्पायर होते हैं। आप लोगों ने वक्त निकाला, हमारे साथ जुड़े, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका। लीडर्स ऑफ ग्लोबल भारत वर्चुअल राउंड टेबल, TV9 भारतवर्ष और SAP के इस ज्वाइंट इनिशिएटिव में फिलहाल इतना ही। नमस्कार।